Alright, episode 1 of a brand new Skyrim modding mini-series. We're going to be making a Conjuration mod this time, and it is called the Academy of Advanced Conjuration. So we're going to go look at some apprentice level conjures that I have, or summonses. I'm not really sure what the correct word is there, but you get the point. We've got some apprentice level spells we're going to go look at today. Now I want to make this note that I have an existing Conjuration mod right now. It's called the Conjurer's Compendium. It's a simple little mod, but it gives me a lot more options. It was on the Nexus for a time, it's not anymore, but it gives me some more options when it comes to what I need for a particular situation. Something the game, I think, really fell short on. But we'll talk a little bit more about that in a few minutes. Right now, we're going to pick up the spell tomes. We're standing outside of what could reasonably be called the exit of Embershard Mine. And right now, they're not going to stay in here, but at the moment, this is where I'm keeping the spell tomes. In a little chest right there, I actually have, there's the Conjurer's Compendium spells in that one, and I've got some destruction spells over there, so I make use of this place. Whoops, missed one. Alright, so as I said, this is where I'm keeping them. I'd rather have a chest in an interior cell somewhere, so I already had these two. I figured, well, I'll just stick it in here for now. I've got some interesting plans for this mod. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but right now, we got some idiot freaking bandits around here that need to get the shit kicked out of them. So I want to share a scenario with you here. Let's say you roll a new character, right? Maybe you're a Breton and you start out with the Summoned Familiar spell. Or you buy it right away. And you're using the Familiar and it's working well. He's tanking pretty well, he's doing some damage. It's a respectable little summons when you're first starting out. So you get up to around level 6, 7, 8, somewhere around in there, and you start finding that your summons is getting its ass kicked pretty bad. Some bandits are taking them out in 2 shots, sometimes it's getting 1-shotted, and you say to yourself, well, we're at that time, this novice level summons just isn't good enough anymore. So what do? You hot-foot it over to Whiterun, you head up the hill, into Dragon's Reach, Farengar, I need apprentice level melee summons. He says, sure, no problem, here you go. Well, no, he hands you, of course, the Flame Atronach spell, and you say, well, that's fine, but I need a melee summons. And he says, fuck you, you'll take this and like it. And you stand there kind of shocked, going, oh, well, okay, I guess. And you slink away with your head hanging low. And so you go ahead and you use that for a while, and, you know, it's a respectable summons, but it's not a melee summons, it's not a tank. And if you're playing a pure mage or an archer where you want to be fighting from a distance, you really need something to go up there and engage other melee units. But you just don't have one. So, this mod, like the Conjurer's Compendium, is going to fix that. We've got a couple of melee units in here. I haven't decided yet which one is going to end up being the apprentice level, but we are going to look at the first one, which is the Shade Warrior.
Never should have come here.
Yeah, I get that all the time. He is a Shade, of course.
Die already so I can take your stuff.
You're kind of slow with that big hammer, buddy. Oh, you got me that time.
I'll show you a real fight.
Oh, my guy is 2 for 2. He has a shield. I don't know why he's not using it. Use the shield, you damn fool.
Fought worse than you.
Come on, take him out. You can do it. There you go. So I don't know why he's not using the shield. I guess I'll have to take a closer look at that. But you can see he is a shade, he is a warrior, and he uses a steel mace. Now here's my rationale for that. You know how sometimes you run into enemy mages and they'll cast a couple of spells at you and then they'll run up and try to kill you with their shitty iron daggers? And it's like, why? You've got spells. You're supposed to be fighting from range. Why would you run up on a melee unit? I figure any mage that's stupid enough to run up on a melee unit and try to fireball their feet, because that's what it looks like they're doing, deserves to be clubbed over the head. Am I right? So I gave our boy here a steel mace. Club away, my friend. Now we have another melee unit here, and it's called a war pig. Can you guess what this is going to be? He's a little overpowered right now. I haven't really tweaked his stats just yet.
What was that?
Go get him, buddy. Tom, what are you doing? He tanks pretty well and he deals a ton of damage, but he's kind of slow and, you know, no offense, man, but you're kind of stupid sometimes. So, I'm not sure. I could make this guy an adept level. I could just swap him out for the other one. You got a couple more in here. You ready for it?
Over here.
Where are you going? You've got enemies to engage, buddy. There you go. He runs right past him. See what I mean? This guy does a ton of damage. He's kind of slow, though. Come on, man. See, that's your... Yeah, fine. Just go. That's his problem. He's a bit slow with his attacks. You know, he can absorb a ton of damage. He can deal a lot of damage. But he's a little slow. I don't know. I think he's slow in two ways, you know, not just physically slow, if you know what I mean. Alright, so, we've seen the melee summons. I've also included an archer. Now, my Conjurer's Compendium mod includes archers. Apprentice level up through, I think, master level archers. They're all shades. And I've been using that mod for probably a year or so, and I think in all that time I've actually summoned an archer twice. I think I found 2 occasions where, hey, you know what, an archer would be helpful here. So it doesn't get a lot of use, and I was debating whether or not to even include one in here, but I thought, you know what, why not go ahead and include one, because if you want it, you've got it, and if you don't need it, you don't have to use it. Oh, we got one idiot outside the door here. I'm just gonna roast him. You're not worth the conjuration spell. Alright. Well, you know what? Right up the hill there, at Bleak Falls Barrow, I think we got some bandits we can go beat up on. Let's go do that. Not magic. Map. Freaking idiot. Now these guys might be a little bit tough for my apprentice level summons, but we'll deal with them somehow. Let's say you've got some melee units that you need to deal with, and you think to yourself, you know what, something that does frost damage right now would be really, really helpful. So, you hot-footed over the White Run, you go up the hill, into Dragon's Reach. Farengar, I need something that does frost damage. I need an apprentice summons that does frost damage. And he says, sure, no problem. Alright, hang on a second. Man, these guys they're interrupting my perfectly good story here. Let's bring up the my archer here is what did I call this guy anyway? A corpse bowman. I should point out that the names on some of these is kind of stupid. So some of the names will be changing. What the hell is he? Maybe I did not put it in the. There's a lot of stuff in here. That's the adept one right there. Undead bowman, is that what I'm calling him? Okay. I thought I called him the corpse bowman. That's fine. Let's just get them aggroed. As you can see, he's a drogger. He's a trash talker, but, you know. Oh, that looked like it really hurt, man. It looked like it would have hit you in the brain if you only had one. Hey, watch it. The guy's using torch arrows. Now, like most of the apprentice level summons in this mod, he's a level 8. He has an ancient Nord bow, and ancient Nord arrows, and a good sense of humor, as you can see. Archer v. Archer. Oh, you got him! Way to go! Anyways, I was saying, sometimes you want something that does frost damage. So you run up, you hot-foot it over to, hey look, there's somebody still over there. Well, let's give this guy something to do. We need something that does some frost damage, I think. That might be interesting. So we have, what the hell was I calling this guy? Oh yeah, it's the skeletal conjurer, actually. Yes. Let's watch this guy. Now, he's a marauder, so he may jack up our boy here pretty quick. Yeah. Let's try another one. This guy's a much higher level than our guy here.
You'll be so much easier to rob when you're dead.
Alright, might have to bring out the pig again. Let's see. Well, we could, I do have a skeletal marksman. Let's see if he has any better luck. What do you mean you submit? We just got started here. My skeleton scared the piss out of him. What kind of marauder are you? That sounded like it hurt, man. This guy's an adept level. He uses ebony bow and ebony arrows. Come on, man. You can take him. Those arrows just bounce off you. Oh, what kind of shot was that? Your aim stinks. Get up. You're all right. Shake it off. Here.
You start running so I can stab you in the
Alright, let's try. We need to deal with this guy. Should I bring out the pig again? Meet the pig.
Time to die, hero.
He's talking to you, war pig.
You're dead. Dead.
You can't melee that big guy. Oh, maybe you can. Oh, nice shot, Ace. Well, this isn't making my summons look very good, but then again, this is a bandit marauder. He's probably like a level 18 or something. I'm gonna try this guy once more and see if he'll do what he's supposed to do. There you go. He summons a skeletal warrior. Now the skeleton, he went down right away. The skeleton is, the skeleton he summons is not the typical skeleton in the game. He's not a level 1. You survived that? No. He is, I think he's a level 4. Now, against regular opponents, he'll do a respectable job. Let's go someplace a little quieter. Alright, we are standing outside the Temple of the Holy Light. This is another one of my mods called Arsenal of the Holy Light, if you're interested. It includes a lot of sun spells and some craftable silver weapons and some craftable staves. It's designed for killing the undead. Anyway, I'll put a link in the description if you want to take a look at it. And plus there is a playlist of videos regarding this mod on the channel. Anyhow, what do we want to look at right now? We didn't really get to see our boy here, the skeletal conjurer, do his thing. Let me bring up some lower level bandits and we'll see how he handles it.
Now ain't this a surprise? Just stand still.
Alright, now let's see if he does what he's supposed to do. And
It's so much easier to rob when you're dead.
come on, bring up your buddy. Oh, he's trying to go all tough guy it. Now that's not helping, man. You're supposed to summon your little helper. Alright, let's try this again.
Now ain't a bad time to get lost, friend. What you gonna do? Huh? What you gonna do? Nothing.
There we go. Now he switches out the frost spells,
Wait, you sound on your call, right?
and he's got his little helper there.
God, no.
Now these bandits are like a level 1, so they're not going to fare too well. But this gives you an idea what these guys can do. So he summons a little helper. Now you might be thinking, well, hey, what about the summoner limit? You know, unless you have twin souls, which this character currently does not, how can I have 2 summonses? I don't. I only have 1. He's got 1 as well. So he'll summon him to do a little tanking, and then he'll switch out to fighting with his weapon and throwing down frost. Uses frostbite. So he doesn't have ice spike. I'm not sure if that's really needed. But again, I got to do some testing. Maybe I'll switch out frostbite for ice spike. Now let's say you run into some mages. So you throw down your flame atronach, and that's okay, but wouldn't it be better if you had something that did shock damage? So you run away from there, you hot-footed over to Whiterun, up the hill, into Dragon's Reach. Farengar, I need an apprentice level summons that does shock damage, because I got some mages to deal with. And he says, well, I don't have one. You'll just have to make do with the flame atronach. And I said, what do you mean you don't have one? He says, I don't have one. I say, why not? And he says, fuck you, that's why. What are we supposed to do? We don't have anything that does shock damage until the Storm Atronach, and we'll talk about that character a little bit later. It's a pretty good summons, but he's kind of situational. Anyway, I thought I want options. So, we have Voltinator. Let's get those bandits back up.
You picked a bad time to get lost, friend.
I think 4 of them will do the job.
We got ourselves a hero. I'll have your head.
He's a mist man. He's got a sword in his right hand. He's got a flesh spell. And he has sparks. And he has lightning bolt. So he'll switch back and forth between those. Go on. There you go. Nice. He does a pretty solid job. Yeah, man, I'm talking you up. That's right. He knows. He knows. Now, you notice he has a sword. And you may have noticed that the skeletal conjurer had a weapon. You may have noticed that the... I'm drawing a blank here. These skeletons, the mistmen, the shades, they all have a weapon in their right hand. You may be wondering why. Why isn't this guy... Why don't you just give him spells and he can cast spells in both hands? I found out something pretty interesting. I didn't know this was a thing. When I made the Conjurer's Compendium mod, my summons, they're casting spells with both hands. So when I started making this mod, and I'm using shades, mistmen, skeletons, I would give them spells, and they would raise their hands, and I could see the spells in their hands, but they wouldn't cast them. They'd just stand there with their hands like they're ready to get into a bitch slap competition. And I'm thinking, what is going on? Why won't these guys cast spells? Well, you may not be aware of this, but there's a lot of spells in the game that come in 3 varieties. Now, you don't see it when you go to buy the spells, but when you're creating the actor for a Conjuration mod, and you go to spell inventory and you click on new spell or add spell, you're going to see the spells come up, and a lot of them come up with 3 options. So, for example, lightning bolt that this guy was using. You'll see lightning bolt. You'll see lightning bolt left hand, lightning bolt right hand. And I always used to wonder, why did they have it specific for left hand or right hand? Why, just give lightning bolt. They use whatever hand they want to use. And it took me a while because none of these guys, the skeletons, the mistmen, the shades, they were all doing the same thing. They weren't casting spells with both hands. So I got to thinking about that, and I was like, okay, well, maybe I don't know. I couldn't figure out what's going on, and I started thinking about my Conjurer's Compendium mod, and I realized something interesting. Every summons in that mod, except for, I think, 1, is a humanoid or a Dremora. Now, you've seen mages in the game. You've seen them cast spells with both hands. The same with Dremora. But for some reason, well, I think I know why now. Shades and skeletons and Draugr even, they do not have a spellcasting animation for the right hand. So if you give them the spell, or you give them multiple spells and you don't specifically tell it left hand, they're going to put a spell in each hand and they're going to get confused. I think is what's happening. Their AI package gets confused. It's like, hey, I got a spell in my right hand, but I don't have the animation to cast it. I don't know what to do. So I'm just going to stand here with my hands up. So I had to specify when I gave these guys spells, left hand. But then that meant the right hand was doing absolutely nothing. It was useless. So I thought, well, might as well give him a weapon, right? I mean, he can't cast spells with that hand. Might as well give him a weapon and let the right hand do something useful. So these guys are spell swords because of that. It took me a few hours to figure out what was going on there. It was a little frustrating at first. I know you're all probably wanting to see... If you watch the demo, you're probably wanting to see Blaze in action. I'm going to move away from the horse a little bit, because Blaze will kill my horse. Now, probably not, but... Alright, we'll go ahead and bring this up, because this is just too much fucking fun. Blaze actually needs a little more health. She does get killed a little bit easier than she should. She's currently an adept level. Let me bring out some slightly tougher bandits, because those other ones will go down way fast.
Now ain't this a surprise?
Alright, do your thing, girly. She'll pop the flesh spell. Her melee attack is pretty potent as well. Fry's ass. There you go. Ah, see? She needs more health, even with the flesh spell. These are bandit highwaymen, so they're a bit tougher. Cook 'em. You can't wait to learn how to count. Alright, one more. Nice job. That's right, you bad. Alright, so let's talk about this a little bit. It's obviously, Blaze there. Let me bring her up again. Blaze is a burnt Spriggan. And what she's using there, she's not shouting. It's not a Dragon Breath shout. Okay? She's using a concentration spell. It's actually flames, but I've modified it just a little bit, as you could see. So what I did with the flame spell is I upped the damage significantly. The damage is boosted 50% twice because you're going from novice to apprentice, apprentice to adept. So it's 18 points per second. All right, I think it might be 16 right now, but it's supposed to be 18. And the visuals that you're seeing, the Dragon Breath visuals that you're seeing, is a part of the magic effect called a projectile. So I changed that part so we have the Dragon Breath visuals. Now, I don't know if you noticed that, but there was a couple of times there where she's still in the casting animation. The target is on fire, they're taking damage, but the visuals disappeared. So when you think about it, when a dragon breathes fire on you, it lasts for what, 3 to 5 seconds? That's what's happening there. Even though she's still casting the spell, but the visuals stop. So I need to go back in here and see if I can modify this projectile so that it'll be continuous. So whenever she's casting it, the visuals will be there. And yeah, she needs a little more health. I think her health is around 275 or something. It should be a little bit higher. She doesn't have any armor, but she does have the flesh spell. But yeah, that's pretty fun. And someone commented on the demo video asking if this spell was going to be available for the player to use. And I wasn't planning on doing that. It just was a custom spell made for this summons. But I never say never, right? I mean, I wouldn't mind using that. In fact, I was going to throw it in the chest there and use it myself in this video, but I forgot to make the spell tome. So, but it might end up being in there. It's not a conjuration spell at all, but there will be other spells in the mod that don't summon things, but they'll be relevant. So I think that's where that's going to be it for this time. I do have some other summons in my inventory right now, but we're going to look at them in the next video. They're adept summonses, and they need a little bit of tweaking. I got to do a little more testing with them before I can put those in the video, but hopefully this gives you some idea of what I'm trying to do. Go away. By the way, this spell right here, this is expert level flames. That's from another mod of mine. 27 points of damage per second. Well, it says 40 because I have I have the perks. So yeah, that's a thing in a destruction mod I got. So we'll take a look at some adept summonses in the next video, and we're going to look at a couple other things. Like I said, I have to do a little more tweaking and testing with some of these. I may have to do a little bit of scripting, which I have no idea how to do, so that's going to be an interesting bridge to cross. But I've already made several, and I think I have 4 right now, and I'm probably going to add 1 or 2 more. Oh, and by the way, there's no apprentice level elemental that does fire damage in this mod at the moment, because we do have the Flame Atronach, but I may still add one. Flame Atronach is a perfectly good summons, but I don't know. I may still add one that uses flames and firebolt, and I don't know. Maybe. We don't need one, and my whole goal with this mod is so that you have options depending on the situation. And that's how the Conjurer's Compendium was made, because in that one I have fire, frost, and shock elementals at apprentice, adult, expert, and master levels, and also melee units at each level and archers at each level. So no matter what your level and what your situation, you've got a summons that you can use. So having that, you may be wondering, why am I making a new Conjuration mod if I already have that one? It was kind of lacking in creativity. So for example, the elementals at the apprentice level, they're all witches. Fire Witch, Frost Witch, Shock Witch. And they're all Breton females. They all wear the same outfit. The adept levels were all mages. Fire Mage, Frost Mage, Shock Mage. They are all male Dunmers. They all wore the same outfit. You get where I'm going with this, right? So I thought, I need to do something a little more creative. So that's why I started looking at the different actors that were available and saying, I'm going to get some shades in here, some mistmen, some skeletons. And I'm going to try and include a few things in here that cater to the necromancer. And I think, that's kind of why I wanted to go after the shade, the mistmen, the skeletons. And there are some spells and some things in here that are going to be very helpful for those that want to work more on the necromancy side of the conjuration tree. But that's where it's going to end for now. I do have some really interesting and creative adept level summonses we'll look at in the next video. We already seen Blaze. Blaze is I'm kind of liking that one. I think that one's my favorite right now. But that's going to do it for now. So thanks for watching. Take it easy, and I'll see you in episode 2 of the building of the Academy of Advanced Conjuration.